Hi, Steve. How do you feel you guys have made it through these last 3 or 4 days since San Antonio? And does tonight feel like the beginning of the final stretch of the season?
It does. Yeah, it does feel like hopefully the beginning, not the beginning of the end, the beginning of the end of the season. That's what it feels like. But it's how many games we have left?
16.
16. I mean, that's still a good chunk of games, but the schedule obviously moves in our favor. 11 of our last 16 at home. Not a ton of travel. So it's a good spot to be in. We had good practice yesterday, day off before that, and so hopefully we can put together a good one tonight and get some momentum back.
Steve, for most of this season, you've been able to rely on Sean to give you some scoring off the bench. Lately, not so much. How critical is it that he's able to get back to what he normally would do for your offensive second unit?
Yeah, Sean is big for us. He's been so good the last couple of years, and really, he's had a great year this year too. Up until last week, he's struggled, but this is what happens with everybody. You just ultimately you're going to have shooting slumps, whatever you want to call them. Just so happens we got 3 or 4 guys going through them at the same time, and so that's a big part of our issue right now. But I know how this stuff works. I've been through it myself. I think that coming home and having a couple days, I think that can do wonders for everybody. And Sean will be important, and he'll bounce back and he'll play well.
But not since Iguodala got the $10,000 fine for his comments. What did you think about that? Do you think that was deserved, or do you question that one?
I don't question it. It's just not my jurisdiction.
From what you've seen, just how hard they play, how does that maximize what they're able to do?
They're getting the most out of what they have, for sure. We just played them 2 weeks ago, and they gave us a battle. I love the way they play. I think they play a lot like we do, actually, with the ball movement and the cutting and the spacing. And obviously, they've had all the injuries over the last couple of years, and Brett has kind of kept them together and kept them playing hard and competing every night. And so it's really impressive, and it feels like the ship has turned for that franchise. Slowly but surely, it takes time, but it feels like they are heading in the right direction, and hopefully they can get healthy next year. Get Simmons and Embiid healthy, and now they've got something to build on with the momentum that they've put together this year.
Steve will be.
Yeah.
And what do you tell him after an 0 for 12? Do you maybe even have some respect for that he didn't stop after 0 for 6 or 0 for 7? He kept firing the ball up there.
I told him the most important game after an 0 for 12 is the next one. If you shy away from shots, then you're in trouble. The key as a young player in the NBA is you've got to stay aggressive, and even if it means 3 or 4 bad games in a row, keep firing. As soon as you get gun shy and start passing up shots, now you're really hurting the team. Just keep going, and he's a good shooter, and things will turn.
Steve, the top 2 Sixers, one of whom isn't going to play the rest of the season. What are your thoughts on that race between Saric and Embiid?
I haven't given it any thought. I mean, that's just something that. Again, not really my job. I do know that Saric is a hell of a player, and he's fun to watch. And fits the modern NBA game. He can step out and make threes. He can pass. He can put it on the floor. Good-looking young player. And obviously, Embiid was dominant at times when he was healthy. So, as for the race, do you get a vote? You don't know yet.
I think so.
Your call. I don't vote on that.
Steve, you talked with your rotations a little bit. I know you're not going to tell us what your plan is, but what are you looking for tonight in terms of getting that done?
Yeah, we are going to tinker. We're going to change a couple of things, just looking for a spark, looking for different combinations. Obviously, when KD went down, it changed everything. There's a domino effect, particularly at the 4 spot. And generally, all season long, we've we've just played Draymond and KD at the 4 and stayed small. And this has forced us to look at some different things. Maybe David and Zaza together playing big. Maybe Matt Barnes at the 4. Andre at the 4, and so we've talked a lot in the last few days as a staff about what we want to do lineup wise, and you'll see the changes tonight.
Steve, he's eager to do more and more each day. How do you monitor, pushing him, letting him push himself a little bit, and also being pretty cautious still in that?
Yeah, I mean, that's totally up to the training staff, and I trust those guys. Kevin was out there shooting today on the floor, set shots. But that's a big step. A few days ago he was shooting from a chair, and now he's standing up and set shots. Before long, big jump shots, and I don't bother him and just ask him how he's doing all the time. I just trust the training staff to get him healthy, and we'll welcome him back when he comes back.